Welcome back, guys. Automotive Inc. Today we're working on the 2026 Ram 2500, and one thing you can see right here is we ain't got no steps. We got to fix that, guys, and there's a reason why. Before we get started, if you don't mind, smash the subscribe button. Helps a small channel out. Thumbs up and notification bell. So Ram likes to put tube steps and stuff on their tradesman trim level. I guess it's because it's work truck, right? But you'll find more Ram trucks out there without running boards on them. Now, Ram does make a cool wheel to wheel length running board. I think it's around $1,200, so it's a little bit pricey. But what it does is it gives you the step at the bedside thing, and now they no longer connect. Back in the old days, they would run them all the way across the bed, and there would be a bracket somewhere on the other. Well, with that twisting of the frame, sometimes those get a little wonky, and then they have the separated ones that are just the short piece. We're not going to do that. Instead, with this 2500, instead of going to be buying the most expensive stuff, like you see my Paragon truck covers, that's a $1,600 bed cover. Although it's fantastic, it's very pricey. So what we're going to do on the Ram here is we're going to test out cheaper products and see if they're 1, sturdy, 2, good, 3, functional, and they also look pretty good. So this Ram here, great price point, but no steps. Not spending $1,200 from Ram. So we got to put some steps on this bad boy. This thing's a monster. Let me get my tape measure. This thing is a monster to step into. And if you like the look without running boards, they make power running boards that are aftermarket for about $1,200. Not going there. I had $1,300 power running boards on the Chevy, and although they were cool, when I went to trade it in, they acted like it didn't exist. So it doesn't really matter. Let's take a look. So your step-in height on this new Ram is right around 28 to 29 inches. So Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. You're jumping over more than a candlestick here, bro. So, you know, it's a pretty high hike to get in. The seat obviously is even higher. And over time, you will break down your seat if you slide out of this thing. If you guys like those, there will be a video to come on those. I'll show you where to snag them, how to install them, super cheap. But you'll beat up this substantially trying to do it. So the good thing is, with the 26 Ram, it's still the classic body style. So you don't have to go out and hunt for these. These boards are dime a dozen. They got hundreds of them. You like those rocker buster ones or rocker panel ones that look like tubes and shit? They got those. So, and they're cheap. The ones for other manufacturers, a little bit more when you're going on the Zon, but these ones I'm going to link from Zon. I've actually ran them before on Kong. They held up really, really well, and they still look good after now 2 years and almost 100,000 miles. The boards have held up. So we're going to run that exact same looking board just for the Ram. So when you get online, you're like, oh God, I got a 26. I can't find parts for it. Yeah, you're not going to find anything that's delegated as really much as a 26. And if so, you're going to be in the $400 or $500 price point on the Zon. But it's the same. So just make sure that when you're looking at it, you get it for the crew cab because it'll say 1,500 on it, 2,500 and 3,500. Classic crew. So just make sure that, because they did make the old body style a little bit longer in a quad cab. I think it's called a Warlock or something or other. Anyhow, so just keep that in mind. I will link these specific ones down below. $140. Can't beat that, guys. And let's check them out. So these are the boards right here. This pad is a plastic pad or ABS pad. It actually looks slick, but it actually did really well on Kong in the snow. We have a long board. I think this board is somewhere around 84 inches. So it's going to go from the front door all the way towards the back. It's unisex on both ends. It don't matter which end goes first. And as we flip it over, guys, we'll be gentle here. We have a solid aluminum panel here, here, and here. The overall thickness at its thinnest point is probably about 1.5 inches. And then we have the face of the board, which is substantially thicker and meatier looking. We have 2 big channels here. You get all the hardware. All the bolts are already kind of mounted from there. It comes well packed. So this video is going to be how we install them on there. Again, I've installed these before. Actually, I put a set of these that were chrome on the 24 Ram. And albeit I didn't have that truck long, it was a selling point when I went and got, been using them on Kong on the 26 and they were doing good. It's nice to know that Kong, I can still see it. I don't know about the 24 Ram, but this is a nice wide step too. Be careful when your boards that they make like a 3-inch one. So you're talking like right here. This is roughly a 5.5, 6-inch board. I mean, we could measure it. They quote it as a 6. It looks about 5.5, 6 inches long. So super easy, guys. So let's get to the install. All right, so like I always have said in all my videos installing any type of accessory, before you get cuckoo bananas on installing it and dissecting everything, pull everything out of the box and check for damage, okay? Now, this is my 3rd set of this specific brand. I've never had a single one come damaged, okay? That doesn't mean that it can't. Especially because I've seen how people treat stuff on the docks. I used to haul LTL freight, and I've seen how dock workers throw stuff around. So before we do that, I pulled everything out. Now let's just, because I talked about measuring it, let's check the actual measurement here. Okay, so we have, from edge to edge, we have about a 6 1/4 running board, right? Now let's check overall length. So in true form, because I've read some reviews on other boards I thought about trying, and they say they're a 6.5 and they say they're like a 5 or a 4 when they get them. So we got 82 1/4, 82 1/2 roughly on the length. So it's all there as reported. So now that we got it out, guys, we pulled out all of our hardware. We have decent steel heavy duty brackets here. I think these are rated at 500 pounds. We got a packet of hardware. All of our brackets are unisex. It don't matter what side you put them on. They're all the same. So there's nothing going to designate what board goes on what side, what bracket goes on each side. And hardware looks like it's well packaged. We got our instructions there. So I will encourage you guys, when you're doing any type of install, clean the area you're gonna install. Get your pressure washer out. Get your hose out. Get all that dirt and grime off that area as much as you can. So that way, 1, it's not falling in your eyes. 2, you're not clamping down on these brackets and smashing rocks and pebbles in there, which will then, whatever it is under there, whether it's paint, primer, or some type of coating, will just chip and break and make an area where it can rust, all right? Our goal is to put a product in on a clean surface. So once you get it cleaned off, then you're golden. So let's make sure. I did spray this truck off this morning. We'll make sure that this is cleaned off and get to it. If you guys need to, pause the video as you do each step with this, and I'll walk you through, because again, the instructions are a little bit vague. They'll get the job done though. All right, again, we wipe down the underside with that. You're gonna need a 12 mil, 13 mil extension, a socket, or a wrench, however you want to do it. They're gonna give you these bolts, not to confuse with these ones. So these are called the flat plate bolts. Now they all fit the same nut and washer, but you're basically going to get underneath the truck here. And these are your attachment places, guys. And you don't need to pull off the tape if you don't want to. Leave that. That's just plugging the hole from dirt and debris, and there's one back there. So we wiped down this area. You're going to use these mount points and here. Now you might be reading the instructions and be like, well, how the heck am I going to put this on the back side, because that's not going to do any good. You're going to drop in the frame and have a rattle there. It's because you're not going to use those on that one. This one, this body style doesn't have threaded, so there is a second point for those, but you're going to use these. And you're going to put them in the hole right there, and then you're going to start, with the bracket on. So this is a little bit of a pain in the ass. So I'm going to get it started and show you what it looks like. All right, so this is what the bracket's going to look like when you get it on there. Now, they show in the instructions these going out. I don't like the look of that, so I put them in the opposite direction on all the trucks. It's not really relevant that you worry too much about that. So once you get these lined up and in, then you can go ahead and tighten the brackets down. Then this step will be done. One thing you can do, and this will make you not pull your hair out as much, is go ahead and put these on and start a washer and a nut on both sides, but just start them just a smidge. I'll show you what that looks like. Just like that. So then when you get up underneath the truck, you can actually just put And I put them in backwards, of course, but let's fix that. So that's the way they're going to go. So that way when you get them up in there, you can actually just use the down pressure and spin these up and get them tightened. So I'll show you what that's going to look like. So once this is kind of hanging on, then you can just tighten these down as you get them up. And instead of trying to hold the bracket and do all that at the same time, you can just spin these up and then tighten them that way. And you're definitely trying to line them up to the holes. So don't get these overly tight until you get your other two bolts in the bottom holes here. All right, so you can see I put those in there like that. Now you can go ahead and finish tightening all of these down. And again, you can get these tight. There's no torque specs on them, but just do the same procedure on all three brackets. You have 3 brackets per side. So we're gonna get those 3 mounted and I'll show you how to mount the board. All right, from there, all of your mounting bolts for the board to the brackets are gonna be tightened on one end. You just loosen those up with a 12. I would encourage you, before you take them all the way out, slide them kind of to the middle in an area, because otherwise you'll need to use your bolt and line up the holes. So take all these out. You can see we got the brackets all mounted and tightened down. So now let's get these out and on to the next. All right, so once you get it mounted up, guys, then you can kind of just adjust where you want it to slide and sit. There's a little bit of maneuvering if you want, but I just try and line both of them up with the door crack here. It's not a huge scientific measure. Now you're gonna tighten this down, and then that's it. And then I'm gonna take a black paint pen and color over these so I don't have any of the chrome sticking out. It'd been cool to have black hardware, but you know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna get these things tightened down, and I'm gonna show you that it holds 290 pounds. I mean, it already feels very stout and it's not even tightened up. All right, there we go, all tightened up. Like I said, they are a wide board. So if we kind of step back here, take a look, they'll help with some of that splash on the truck itself. And then let's see if they fall off when I step on them. Oh no, super firm. Now I can wash the top of the truck, get my windshield, no movement whatsoever. Grippy under my shoe, and I have stepped on these when it's wet. And then for the backseat passengers, of course, oh yeah, plenty of sauce. So all you guys got to do is repeat the same procedure on the other side. With filming, this is only 12 minutes long, so there were a few pause moments there. We're going to jump up and get another, nut that rolled down the driveway. But overall, I'm very happy with the size of the board and the overall look. Clean, black, just like the rest of the truck. Less than 150 bucks. So, and I know they at least last a year. So if you want to spend $1,200 on another set and they last you 5-10 years, who's to say these don't? They do have good warranty, and they also have that. So I'll link them down below. As always, guys, there's a running board install 2026, same as just about every year since 2010. So as always, appreciate you guys being here. Catch you on the next one.